Firstly, I want to mention that you guys should be stretching every single day, whether that's for a warm-up for the gym and also after the gym or on a rest day. We want to be decreasing the chance of injury as much as possible, so the more you stretch, the stronger your body is going to be, and there's going to be a less chance of you getting injured and halting your progress. And I also want to mention that you should be doing each stretch for at least 20 seconds. You don't have to do all these exercises, guys, but pick the ones that are best suited to you and your weaknesses in calisthenics. The first exercise we're going to do is going to be head to shins, and you can do this standing up or you can do it sitting down. This exercise is very good for improving your overall mobility when it comes to improving exercises such as the L-sit. These really stretch out your hamstrings, and the lower you can get, the better form your L-sit is going to be. You can also try out the dynamic version where you go from one leg to the other, and this is just as effective. Another great exercise that I'd recommend you trying is the split hold. What you want to do with this is have your legs as wide as possible and just have your palms on the ground, and if you can't quite get them on the ground yet, then just have them hanging as low as you can. A very similar exercise is going to be the hips to ground, and you can also do this if you're struggling with the previous exercise. The next exercise is going to be the elevated single leg squat pose. With this, you want to have one of your legs on an elevated surface and also make sure the other leg is stable so that you can balance. You want to be moving your body back and forth and side to side so you can really feel the stretch in your groins and hamstrings. A great exercise for stretching the chest and the shoulders and improving your posture is going to be the lowering chest stretch. You can use a wall for this ideally, or you can just improvise and use these poles as I have here. One of the best exercises that you can do for stretching in calisthenics is going to be the full bridge, and this helps with your overall flexibility, reduces knee and back pain, improves your balance and posture, and also strengthens your core. And you can also do an easier version on the wall if you can't quite do the full bridge yet. The next stretch is great for your hips, and that is going to be the hip flexor stretch. Obviously, you want to be doing it with both knees and both sides of your body, and if you can do this version where you're just going to go to the floor and lower yourself down as much as you can, and this is going to make the stretch even better for your hips. Next up, we're going to move up the body a little bit more, and we're going to go for the cross body shoulder stretch, and this is great for your shoulder mobility and helps warm up for a lot of upper body exercises in calisthenics. If you're doing a push day, then I'd recommend you do the overhead tricep and shoulder stretch, and this is going to be great to target those triceps, shoulders, and also they do target the lat muscles too, so you do get that back activation with this stretch too. Another amazing exercise that I do so much for calisthenics, which helps with back pain and also helps with posture, is going to be the puppy pose, and this is very simple to execute. One of my favorite poses is going to be the upward dog, and I really feel this in my back area, and you're also going to feel this if you have a tight lower back, and this really does help with your whole upper body, stretching pretty much every upper body muscle. And if you can't quite feel it like that, then you can also use fingers to make it harder and feel more of a stretch. This next stretch looks pretty awkward, but it is a very, very good stretch that you should do, and it's called the cat-cow stretch. You're protracting and retracting your spine on each rep that you do of this, and it is a very good exercise for overall back stiffness. Thread the needle is another exercise I recommend you doing. This opens your shoulders, chest, neck, arms, and upper back. It also stretches your thighs and your hips, so you can consider this a full body stretch. I always do this stretch no matter what workout I'm doing. The next exercise is the prone chest stretch, which doesn't have much to say about it other than it's really going to open up that chest and shoulder area. It decreases tightness and also improves the posture. The child's pose is similar to the puppy pose, but you're leaning a bit further back with your legs. This opens your hips up and lengthens your spine, and you can really feel the stretch. The seated glute stretch improves range of motion and also flexibility, and this also reduces lower back pain and tightness in your hips. You can do it seated, or you can do it lying on the ground. just like this. Another one of my favorite stretches is going to be the pigeon pose. This increases flexibility in the hip flexors and also the lower back region. Next up, we have another full body stretch, which is going to be the camel pose. This strengthens and builds mobility in the chest, triceps, abs, glutes, hamstrings, back, the arms, and also the shoulders. The quad stretch is probably one of the most well-known ones, an essential stretch that increases mobility and reduces injury, also improving your posture. Next, we're going to move into wrist strengthening stretches, and the first is going to be pretty self-explanatory, and it is going to be wrist rotations. You can also do this variation when you have your hands interlocked together and you can twist both wrists at the same time. More stretches that I'd recommend you doing for calisthenics that help with wrist flexibility and also general hand mobility is going to be doing these exercises here. You want to be practicing these a couple of times a week. You also want to be making sure that you try different variations of these exercises, such as the reverse kneeling forearm stretch and all the kneeling wrist extension stretches that you can possibly do. You want to be targeting all angles of your wrists so that you don't leave anything to chance in terms of injury or lack of flexibility in a certain area. If you're looking to make the wrist flexion stretches even harder, then I'd recommend you try these ones out, but do be careful because it is very fragile on the wrists. You can also see through the frog stand exercises and these advanced exercises that I'm going to show you here, how the wrist stretches play into exercises that you can do in calisthenics. Make sure to always try and remember to stretch every single day. If you can't stretch every day, it is not the end of the world. As long as you're trying to stretch every day and you're doing it at least 3 to 4 times a week, you're gonna not get injured and you're gonna improve your calisthenics game twofold. Make sure to do each stretch for at least 20 seconds minimum to see maximum benefit. And lastly, you want to be picking the best exercises from this guide that will help you to achieve the skills you want to in calisthenics and also help with your overall goals that you want to achieve in the sport. Make sure that you really remember and ingrain these 3 things in your head. And that is it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned something about stretching. If you did learn something, then make sure to like the video and also subscribe for more daily calisthenics and fitness content. See you guys in the next one. Peace.